Bum, bum, bum. Here we go. Check it out. Look, I just saw it. Look, it is official. Boom, boom, boom. Wall Street Journal. Trump moves to undo Dodd-Frank. Frank Dodd, as I like to call it. Who is on top, Dodd or Frank? See what I did there? You're like, how did he do it? It's like he made a joke out of Dodd-Frank. Maybe he's not bitter anymore. Let me tell you, all you have to do is go back and watch some of my old videos, and you'll realize that I'm the smartest human being on the effects of Dodd-Frank. Because remember, Dodd-Frank is what pushed my mortgage company out of business. That pushed me to hashtag MRA. Then my ex-wife went cunt, custody battle, boom, hashtag MRA. And now look this. Look at this. Trump moves to undo Dodd-Frank. What else do we got? Well, I got some good news. Not this good news, not this bad news. Look at this. Check this out. Powerball. Sometimes Dodd-Frank can get so bad you guys start playing Powerball. And I did not win. It says White House says banks burden by rules added after financial crisis. And I wish they would just have these hearings and let real life human beings, like the real life, not these corporate bailout TARP people. I wish they'd let real life people who understand finance come in and talk to these people and say, let me tell you where Dodd-Frank went bad. And here it is. It's as simple as this. Here's a Fibonacci on Dodd-Frank. I'm so happy about this. MyLendingPlace.com, 10-year-old company. Boom. One piece of legislation. What they started to do is they started to put liquidity requirements on brokers, essentially trying to push us out of business with regulations. And all the banks did is they used Dodd-Frank. They used it to empower the big banks, and the small banks couldn't keep up the regulations. And so it's really weird. The big banks caused the bailout, caused the TARP, caused the problem, or in part, the big banks, these too big to fail banks were a big part of the reason. And then guess what happened? The big banks got bought out. Then they took the regulations and the capital and pushed small banks out. So what's the answer, Fibonacci? Well, number one is it's time for this country to start using or start letting intelligent people influence policy. And what happens in these Washington places, big banks hire these lobbyists, and these lobbyists are writing the regulations, not people who really understand the policy. And so this is a good news, Dodd-Frank. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is this. We have to have a place. Well, let me say that there's two moves that we can make to help this country financially. Number one is there has to be a local bank that's not tied to federal regulations. I know that's a big deal. You're like, are you trying to get rid of FDIC? We would so love it. Well, FDIC is sort of the way that the big banks hurt small banks. So number one is there has to be mechanisms for small local banks to operate locally relative to the 10th Amendment without going into the federal system. So therefore, when banks decide to do this, when Dodd-Frank decides to ramp up and hurt small banks, there needs to be a mechanism for local small banks to operate outside of the federal system. And there's all kinds of ways that I've thought of over this last year of how can we help banks do good business without encumbering them with these regulations like Dodd-Frank. Because this is a big piece of shit right there, Dodd-Frank. All right, I'm done. I guess we're going to have a Bible study. What do you want to talk about here? The end of employees, Dodd-Frank, what, guacamole? Where do you want to go here? I mean, there's so many things we can talk about. I mean, this guy's happy. I mean, he's on a Kentucky farm. He's not worried about Dodd-Frank. This is Fibonacci. He's not even Fibonacci. He has 7 siblings. Giants quarterback recalls his demanding father. At least he had a father. Hashtag Murray. I'm out. You guys be good. Holy shit. Need to go to my house in the Hamptons. What is this? The mansion section? Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just do Fibonacci does the Wall Street Journal. Dodd does Frank. Oh, how's he doing? He's making sex jokes, and he needs to understand that sexuality is a federally protected status, and if Dodd is fucking Frank or Frank is fucking Dodd, it doesn't matter as long as Dodd-Frank can fuck the small banks out of business. Jonathan Fibonacci is out. He's going to go have a cappuccino.